And that whilst your purpose
that you've signed up to and we share together is to be your best in all you do.
And greatness can only be measured by the difference between before you showed up and after you showed up. If I look at the number of people whose lives have been transformed by your voice, that's how we measure your greatness.
What I'm going to be sharing tonight is going to change your life. If you understand what I'm going to be sharing tonight, I can tell you a couple of things. Number one, like I think was Coach Chiden that defined that regarding FD, you are going to become a transgenerational voice. If you understand what I'm teaching tonight, I can assure you, except it's just not in your calling or God himself decides that will not happen. But under every kind of circumstance or configuration of factors, if you understand what I'm teaching tonight, you will be a transgenerational voice. I don't know if you want to type this, but if you want to type this, write this down. My voice has no expiry date. My voice has no expiry date. I don't know about you, but I have books in my library by people who passed, right, to the world beyond 50 years ago. Some of them passed 30 years ago. Some of them passed 100 years ago. If you know people like Jim Rohn, Earl Nightingale, these guys who launched or brought about the establishment of the personal development industry in America, they have passed. But guess what? Guess what's happening? You go on YouTube today, you listen to what they're saying, and it's still relevant. Why? Because truth is timeless. Facts are transient, but truth is timeless, right? So your voice has no expiry date. The newspaper can expire. The magazine can expire. The drugs can expire, but your voice has no expiry date. One of the wisest people who ever ruled, who ever lived, King Solomon, has said that God, the creator, has set eternity in our hearts. Now, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if eternity is in your heart and your mouth speaks out of the abundance of the heart, that means that when you understand how to use your voice is going to be a tap connected to your tank. The tank is your heart. And so what will flow out of your voice will be eternal wisdom, eternal virtue, eternal strength, eternal ability. And that way, people will say, every time we listen to you, there is something fresh, there is something dynamic, there is something extraordinary, there is something different. Are you ready tonight? Do you know there are people that when they've spoken for 30 minutes, you're already bored, you're already tired, you're already looking for the next phone call, playing, Candy Crush, even though you have no candy and you have no crush, right? You're already distracted by all of that. But there are other people who speak for hours. So for example, we're blessed to have FD that speak for Cool Gold. But if you have attended a training or a seminar where FD is speaking 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, you're like, you loaded. But every word is loaded. Every expression carries juice or juice. Somebody say juice, right? Because there is a gusher, there is a release, right? And I'm going to use some technical terms, right? Because I'm going to share my screen shortly. But I want us to keep that in mind, that it's possible for you to be a ceaseless stream of insight. It's possible for you to be a cyclical stream of insight, of ability, of wisdom, right? So I'm going to be talking to you about content creation strategy. Content creation strategy. But I'm not going to be teaching you this based on, maybe what you can see online and Scoop, all over the internet and all of that. I'm going to be sharing certain things that will literally expose you to possibilities that you may have never discovered before. All right. So I want to look at content creation strategy. I'm going to be fast because we're very pressed for time. I'm going to be very, very fast. And I know that Joyce shared a lot of things about, from the backstage to the front stage. And one of the things that will help you, right? Your charisma, your confidence, your charm, the uniqueness of your voice will move you from the backstage to the front stage or the center stage. But what will keep them inviting you is not your charisma. What will keep them inviting you is not the uniqueness of your story. It's your ability to have a strategy for creating content, for repositioning and repurposing streams of insight, streams of wisdom, streams of knowledge, telling that story with fresh flavor, spicing it up, not with falsities or lies, but with a certain breath of inspiration that people cannot reject. They cannot say no, because you don't just have content, you also have the ability to create. You don't just have the ability to create, but you have a strategy that supplies it. So many speakers, many communicators, guess what? They have content. They have content, they have a story, they have a message, they know something that they want to do, they have value they want to offer, but many speakers don't have the creativity to spin that content from the typical mold that it is, right, into whatever form, whatever else you want it to have. And then for those who have creativity, a lot of people who are very creative don't understand strategy. Don't understand strategy. So I want to look at that. How do you have content, creativity, and strategy? Right. So, earlier, let me stop the screen share. So earlier, Simi was like, oh, she likes the shirt I'm wearing. I'll talk about that a little later. So she likes the shirt I'm wearing. So what you have there is, if you really want to spice up the world, ginger people don't pepper them. This t-shirt and the t-shirts brand, my merchandise line that I've just recently launched, started as a result of this white paper things that I write and I post like every night. I just write this, I think this tonight, so yeah. So I just write this very interesting things every night. Now, this is content, right? This stuff is content, but it could be in a text form. It could be on my notepad. It could be in my journal. That's content, right? But using it this way, using red marker, white shirt paper, making funny faces, that is the creativity behind it. So your creativity can amplify your content. Many of us here, we don't have a problem with content. We don't have a problem with wisdom, with depth, with principles, with 4 steps, with frameworks and all of that. But we have a challenge with creativity. And then what is strategy? Strategy is, move it from white paper, move it to a shirt, so people don't just hear your wisdom, they wear your wisdom. Is somebody still with me right now? Are you still here, somebody? Are you still here, somebody? Are we following this? So that is strategy. Now, so if you don't like social media, somebody will wear the shirts because there's a strategy that has moved it from my own social media feed to your house, to your family events, to your company events, to the car you're going to drive, to the bus or the boat you're going to enter in. So my message has moved from my personal journal to the public space. Why? Because there is strategy behind my content creation drive. Are we still getting this? Somebody talk to me. Talk to me. To me. Talk. All right. So that's very key. It's very, very important that we have this on lockdown. So let me attempt to do a quick run through the all-important matter of content creation strategy. Content creation strategy. Of course, as we flow and as we go, please ensure that you're taking notes, but I also want to ensure that you are typing in the chat box that you're following as we go along. You are not lost. Everybody be connected. Now my slide has disappeared, but I'm going to get it right about now. Just give me a moment. So content creation strategy. We're going to look at what content is. We're also going to look at what are the major things that you must have in place if you want to ensure that you are not just making noise, or rather you don't come across as if you're making noise. If you want to ensure that you have a voice that is respected, if you want to ensure they're going up beyond people just liking your post to people buying into your message and then building a movement around what you're doing. So look at why content is currency. We're also going to examine the importance of standing out from the crowd so you don't have random posts. Also, why the most popular posts on social media don't always translate to profit. We're going to look at different pieces of content you need to create. Major elements to make sure that your followers are eating up your content like children consume ice cream, right? If I had enough time, I would have talked about how I take, let me just mention this. Why do I take content creation so seriously? Let me tell you. There are different reasons, but one of the major things that stood out for me in my life, one of the most riveting reasons I have, one of the most compelling things, is that on a few occasions, people have posted a comment on my content, or they've sent me DM messages. Please listen to this, saying, I've been contemplating killing myself, but this content or this post you just made has made me change my mind. Someone said to me, I've been planning suicide for a while now, but because of what I just read on your page, I'm not going to take my life. Now, can you imagine that? Can you imagine? This is not a deliverance service. This is not a church service. This is not some kind of, dramatic event. We're talking about a write-up, a video, something sometimes just inspirational or funny, right? Now, the question has to be, who is taking their lives because you are not giving yours through strategic content? Who is taking their lives? Who is sleeping around? Who is losing their mind? Who is failing in marriage? Who is falling apart because you're like, well, I'm a great speaker, I'm a great communicator. Anybody that needs me will come to my event. Anybody that needs me will, but you're not sharing or broadcasting your content. And there is somebody somewhere who's spending a longer time in depression than they should because your content is not strategically positioned. Please help me type in the chat box real quick. I repent, I repent, I repent. I repent, I repent, I repent. Repent. Right? So for you, it's just, I have to post 3 times a day. But to somebody else, this is their life we're talking about. This is the outcome of their possibilities. This is the cap on their potential. But you are the one that will blow the cover, blow the lid, break them out of that cycle, right? Let me not even talk about the opportunities, the business opportunities, the invitations, the platforms that have opened up to me locally and internationally because my content is strategically positioned. Can I propose to you that little write-up you have in your journal, that little write-up can secure a deal of millions of naira for you. But if you don't know how to position it, or thousands of dollars, because I know this is an international platform. So if you don't know how to position it, you're still praying, Lord, bless me. Lord, open doors. Can I tell you something? There are doors of opportunities that you already have the keys to, yet you're praying for open doors. That's because you don't realize that your content is not only key, your content is the key to certain doors you're praying for God to open. Your content is key, but your content is also the key to certain doors you're praying for God to open. Why? Because God opens people's hearts before he opens doors. It's the open hearts of men that open doors for you. It's the open hearts of men that open doors for you. But it's the key that you place in their hearts, the key of content that connects with them, that speaks to them, that resonates with them, that addresses their needs, that meets them, the notification that delivers them from depression, from heaviness, from weariness, from frustration, from loss of accountability, loss of sleep, confusion about parenting, confusion about accounting, whatever value proposition you have. Right. So what exactly is content? Content creation. Content is anything, right? Something that can be expressed through some medium. It could be speech, it could be writing, it could be a form of art, it could be a play, a story, right? Something that you can use for distribution, that you can use for marketing or publication. And content creation is essentially the creation of material you contribute to your online world. So there are people who are saying, God, take me to the nations. Lord, open doors for me. I want to be an international person. You have the opportunity. Your content is not only key to the hearts of men, your content is also your visa to new vistas. Somebody write that down. Your content is the visa to new vistas. So every day, people follow me online, every day. And somebody said to me some days ago, I wish I had met you years ago. My life would have been better than this. So your content is visa to new vistas. And there are 7 major platforms where you can share the content that you have. Social networks, so Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Number 2, micro blogging and community blogs. So Twitter is essentially under that, but there's also Medium. A lot of people don't know Medium, but Medium is very brilliant if you want to be able to journal. Yes, thank you, Emmy. Thank you. Oh, I see Love Alabi here. So good to see. Right? So Medium is also a great platform that I think many speakers are underutilizing. There's Tumblr. Then there are no more blogs and forums, right? Blogger, Warrior Forum, Nairaland, social news sites like Reddit and Digit, social review sites like TripAdvisor, like Yelp, media sharing, YouTube, Vimeo, Pinterest, sharing economic networks, Airbnb, Kickstarter, different platforms. Now we could spend an hour talking about that. But what do all those platforms have in common? The 3 things they have in common. Number 1, content. Somebody say content wherever you are. Number 1, content. And can I propose that your content will cause discontent, right? If you don't know how to pitch your tent. Your content will cause discontent if you don't know how to pitch your tent. As a matter of fact, the only way to pitch your tent in the hearts of people, to have mind share, to buy real estate, to buy a space for people to remember you long after they've read what you posted, after they've watched what you shared, after they've interacted with your piece of content, is that there must be a strategy. But a lot of people, your content is causing discontent in the wrong way. Right? So the first thing is content. The second thing is community, the social space. So there must be a group of people you're speaking to, a group of people, which means that you must understand the art of strategic dislike. What does that mean? That somebody somewhere must look at your page and not like it, because what you're sharing is so focused in a certain direction that even though they might like 1 or 2 things, they're like, no, this is not for me. So until people can come to your page and say, this is not for me, you are not yet strategic. If you're trying to appeal to everybody, you are trying to connect with everybody, you are trying to speak to everybody, it's likely that you're not speaking to anybody. And number 3 element is connection. So on the different platforms, there are different ways of connecting. There's a way to connect on Facebook that if you try to do that on Twitter, you're going to have some friction. There's a way to connect on Twitter that if you try to do that on Instagram, there will be friction. There's a way to connect on Instagram that if you try that on LinkedIn, you will not be LinkedIn, or you'll be linked out. You'll be linked out. Right? So number 3 is connection. And it's very important to discover that. Now, for you to be able to find the sweet spot, what is the sweet spot? The intersection between content, between community, and between connection. You must have a strategy. Can I propose to you? You're a great speaker, fantastic, but there are 200 great speakers like you. Oh, you have this great story. Oh, what's so touching, so moving. People cry, right? When they hear your story. I mean, we bless God for you and we're grateful to you. But guess what? Without strategy, after they've heard that story 2 or 3 times, it loses its potency, its power, its appeal, its punch, its spike, its cutting edge. So there must be strategy. And Lee Bowman was the one who said a vision without a strategy is just an illusion. So you have to be specific, you have to be intentional, and you have to be strategic. All right, so you know, one of the things that's happening right now, people who are creating content, I've been shouting this for a couple of years. As I see certain platforms, I said to people, see certain platforms, see Iroko TV. I said one day, a deal is going to come, an international deal from Sony Pictures or Paramount Pictures or Universal Studios, and they're going to propose a buy-in or a buy-out right? That will be tens of millions of dollars. I said, look, at Ebony Life is going to happen. This was years ago. And I mentioned some other platforms. Now it's happening with Ebony Life, right? Where Will Smith and Jada Pinkett are partnering with them to create content. Now I read something, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, Kunle Afolayan, some of you know Kunle Afolayan. Now he has a 3-movie deal with Netflix. Now, do they have the best stories? Possibly not. Do they have great production? Yes. Do they have fantastic strategy? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So why can we as speakers not start thinking of how we can propose a deal to Netflix? I'm ready to partner with anybody on that one. Let's think about that. Let's partner. What can we create for the African market? That is the strategy there. The long-term thinking that goes beyond your honorarium that may be honorable or not honorable. You know, people call you excellency. Sometimes the people they are calling excellency may actually be mediocre. Really? Right? So we need strategy. The same piece of content, you can share it in different ways. Different ways. For a whole week, you can repurpose it. Now, I like to say this. Energy without strategy will lead to tragedy. So energy without strategy is shooting without aiming. You know that Shakabula thing? Like in those movies where maybe there's some kind of wicked person or criminal who's come to assault somebody. And then the person it's come to assault finds a gun. The person is not trained to use the gun. But in that whole place of pressure, the person just begins to shoot. And sometimes the person may hit the target, but oftentimes the person destroys more things than the problems the person is trying to solve. We're seeing that now. So energy without strategy is shooting without aiming. So there you are shooting videos. You are shooting videos, but the videos are shooting you. I'm sorry. The videos are shooting you. So you're like, but I'm putting out content every day. And after 3 days, you post that content. 3 days after, only 3 likes that you have had. Hey, Father. You now start saying, maybe I'm not called. Maybe this is the wrong message. Maybe I'm not supposed to be on this platform. Leaving a platform does not solve the problem that made you leave it. Not posting does not solve the problem. Right? So shooting without aiming, that's then there are people who have strategy, but they have no energy. Now, strategy without energy is complacency. That's aiming without shooting. So you're always on your marks, 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 get set, you're always getting set. In fact, you have a posting calendar, you have a diary, you have the blueprint in your head. You're like, I'll shoot this video 1 year, 1 week, or one of these days. This will happen. In fact, you have all the yellow stickers on your notebook. You have all of that, but you are not shooting. You're aiming, but you're not shooting. What we want to be able to do is to be able to aim and shoot. So when you have the right content strategy and you have the right social media strategy, then you're going to multiply your impact and you're going to multiply your influence. If you can hear me, say, I hear, I hear, I hear. 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 Tell me I hear, I hear, I hear. So you need content creation strategy, social media strategy, right? I'm not going to talk about social media strategy today because that's a whole different course that I take and teach, right? So you must have and there are 3 major things that will help you combine both. 3 major things. Number 1, you must have the right psychology. The right psychology, and I know that Joyce must have touched on that, the titanium. So she speaks about confidence and all of that the mindset work that you need to do. The right psychology, you must have that, right? So psycho, another word that's closer to psycho is suke, which is mind, but it's also an inspired mind. right? So you must have an inspired mind and an inspiring mind, which means that you must be convinced that what you have to share can create a shift. So when I'm sharing online, I'm not just sharing online, I'm shifting online. When your content does not shift anybody, they will stop shifting to your page. In fact, they will shift off your page. So people, you want to ask your question, when I post this video, what is going to shift in their lives? What is going to shift in their thinking? What is going to shift in their psychology, in their psyche, in their psyche? What is going to shift? Right? Are they going to shift in thinking? Are they going to shift in emotions? So is it going to provoke a shift in their emotions? So every post must have an assignment. Come on, somebody write it down. Every post must have an assignment. So you're not just, just posting and sharing like, oh, it's been 3 days. I've not shared anything online. Oh, let me think about what to share. Oh, what should I share? Let me go and look at that other mentor, that other coach. Let me see what they're sharing and let me see what's working. No, every post must have an assignment, right? Even in football, there is goal post. So your post must have a goal. Is a goal. So you can have a hat trick and not just a trick. So you don't trick your audience, right? Even if it's October and Halloween, trick or treats. All right. So the right psychology, the right mindset, the right mentality. My value matters. My posts matter. My concepts matter. My experiences matter. My discoveries matter. My videos matter. My jokes matter. My orientation matters. Are we feeling this? Are we feeling this? If you're feeling this, let me know you're feeling this. If you're feeling this, let me know you're feeling this. Let me know you're feeling this. Let me know. Right, I know you're taking notes, but you can drop me some hearts, some fire, some emoji, some mind blown, some exclamation mark, some whatever it is. Thank you very much. Thank you. So the right psychology, because part of what happens to some of us is we put something out there, the reception is not great, so we begin to second guess ourselves. We begin to dumb down and say, maybe I'm not valuable. Maybe my words don't matter. Maybe my story is not relevant. Maybe the space is saturated. Maybe. And once you begin to have maybe in your lives, someone said, I'm feeling it hot. Thank you. Once you begin to have too many maybes, then you are schooling yourself in the art of indecision. That means that you are dwelling in Maybe-ville, in maybe land, maybe estates, maybe, even if you're using maybe line products, don't stay in maybe land. You need to have a sense of certainty, specificity of assignment. You are a marksman, you're focused in the crosshairs. You know the crosshairs of a gun? You're focused, you know what this post is going to do. You know, you give it an assignment. You are not a random rambler. So for those who are very close to me, if you followed me or you've been in one of my coaching programs or events, you will see that I'm very spontaneous. In fact, in the session, you see I'm very spontaneous, but I tell people I'm spontaneous, but I'm not random. I'm spontaneous, but I am not random. Right. So the right psychology, that's very important. So I know there are many of you who are also very spontaneous. So depending on your personality type, you might be very spontaneous, like things occur to you a lot. You know what I do? I trap those thoughts, I condense them, then I go to brood on them, flesh them out, work them out, and they become something beautiful. Number 2 is that you must have the right methodology. So you can have the right mindset. You can have the right orientation. It's like you knowing how to use fork and knife. It's like you have to. Okay, so what do you mean by you're not random? That means I'm strategic, I'm intentional, right? I can join the dots. So I'm not just running around every other thing. Oh, this thing is the one that is running now. Okay, let's go there. This is the one that is making moves now. Let's go there. No, even though I can create things on the fly and on the go, I'm intentional. I've disciplined my mind to be able to find the trajectory and how the next step is going to connect to what's happening in 5 steps or 7 steps. Are you getting that, Tosin? So yes, you might know how to use fork and knife and all in your head, but if you don't have the fork and knife, you will end up using your plastic spoon because you have the right mindset, but not the right methodology. We're seeing this now. So the right methodology, you need to understand things like, what is the best platform for me, for my personality style, for the people I've been sent to? If there is a mismatch between both of them, where am I going to compromise? Where am I going to compromise? Am I going to shift my operations or spread it across both platforms, or 3 platforms, or 4 platforms? The right methodology is very key. The right methodology. Number 3, for time's sake, the right technology. The right technology. So there's some simple apps, the number of apps and tools you can use, where you can edit your videos, where you can create compelling, because sometimes people, some of your followers they are bored. You have bored them. And see, bored followers, they never put "I'm bored" in the comments. They just stop commenting, then they stop liking. Then after a while, you discover they have same number of likes, same number of shares for weeks and months. So they vote with their absence. They protest with their absence. They protest with their exits. They just say, oh, this person's always sharing the same story, the same way, every time. Now, I've been listening to FD for about 17 years, thereabout, right? And there's never a time I listen to FD and I'm like, okay, I've heard that before. Even if he shares a story I've heard before, there is a quality, energy, strategy, oil, fragrance, weight, value, enthusiasm, passion. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So there's some technological tools, some apps you can use to jazz up, juice up, cut up, chop up, color, shape, distribute your content. So you need to have all of that. So let me talk about my own strategy statement. By the way, if you don't have a content strategy statement, you're still operating below the possibilities of what you can do. Because the same way you have a vision statement or a mission statement for your organization or for your life, right? Are we saying that now? I do A for B so that they can see. You have that, right? The way you should also have a content strategy statement. Right. You need to have that. So generally, when people come to my page, guess what? I want to encourage them. I want to enlighten them. I want to empower them, right? In a loving and light-hearted manner. So when you go to my page, you're going to see encouragement, you're going to see enlightenment, you're going to see empowerment, but almost every time, it's going to be in a loving manner or in a light-hearted manner, which means I can share something so heavy and so serious, but somewhere in the caption, beginning, middle, or ending, the people who are reading are going to know he doesn't hate me, or even though he's challenging me, even though he's stretching me, even though he's provoking me, even though this can be easily misunderstood, there's the element or the flavor of love or lightheartedness. So I'm going to post some goofy things. I'm going to dance ridiculously. I'm going to crack dry jokes. Because that is how I express myself from an authentic premise. So you need to have a content strategy statement. When people come to your page, how do you want them to feel? Not just what do you want them to know, right? Because people remember how you made them feel long after you stopped speaking. Long after you stop communicating, sharing, teaching, the feelings will stay with them, right? And the feelings will determine their interpretation of your wisdom. Now, you must have heard so many times, John Maxwell popularized it. He said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So if people don't feel valued, feel appreciated, feel loved, feel like you cared, guess what's going to happen? Just be like, no resonance. So that you still have content, you're in the community, but there's no connection. So generally, when people come to my page, I want them to have at least one of these 4 experiences, or at least one of the 4, or a combination of 2 or 3 of the 4. Number 1, I want them to learn something. They're going to discover something they didn't know. They're going to be exposed to a new vista of understanding or knowledge, right? I want them to laugh, maybe not every time, but at least 1 out of 4 content pieces for me needs to have some quality that makes people laugh or chuckle or shift their emotional state. Are we getting this? Number 3, I want them to feel loved. I want them to feel loved. Number 4, I want them to feel elevated, lifted, uplifted. You're feeling down, you feel high. You're feeling weak, you feel strong. You're feeling bad, you feel good, or you feel better, right? So what is the overall direction of your content? What's the core message you're passing across? What do you want to offer people? What do you want people to experience? How do you want people to feel? These are questions that you must answer. You must answer. And for you to do a great job at this is what you must realize. I'm hoping I can close in 15 minutes. I'm hoping so. There's so much to share, but I'm just going to race. Because I can imagine. So some people want to sleep, right? If you're in Africa, people who are in America, they're like, go on, we're here all night, here all night, bruv. All right, so number 1 is that you must remember this. Whatever you're sharing on stage, off stage, online, you must remember this. It's about others. Somebody tap that real quick. It's about others. It's about others. So your question is not, how do I grow my followers? That's the wrong approach. If that's your primary agenda, I want more people to follow me. Why? How about turn that to, I want to help more people. I want to lift more people. I want to support more people. I want to serve more people. I want to give to more people. I want to enlighten more people. I want to equip more. I want to challenge more people. So you ask, how can I share with others? What can I give to others? How can I serve others? What can I teach others? And then 1, how can I partner with others? And you see, many people in our industry, in the speaking industry, the only kind of partnership we leverage is, I want to do an event, please come and speak on my platform. I want to do an event, let's do an IG Live together. But do you know there are other things you can do? And I know that many people have done this on this platform, but there's some people who are on this platform because somebody else partnered with them or sponsored them to be here, right? So partnering with other people is not just about speaking. It's also about, how can I elevate you? How can I support you? How can I advance you? How can I buy your products? How can I sponsor people to your event, to your organization? Are we seeing that now? What can I do to help others? How can my presence add value? Why? Because when your presence does not add value, your absence will not be missed. You will not be missed in your absence. So if people don't draw value from your presence, they will not feel the void of your absence. Get that, please. If people don't draw value from your presence, they will not feel the void. Feel the void of your absence. So it's about other people. Why? Your why must be clear, right? Your why must be very, 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 very clear. So this is where you answer the question, your power, from your personal story, your personal premise, your purpose, your perspectives, right? It's very important to clarify that. You also want to begin to understand that there are 2 or 3 major things you want to do online, okay? And I'll talk about that in this slide. All right. Let me quickly mention this. If your why is not clear, you will not fly as fast as you should. Let me give you an example of certain people on Instagram. And these are all figures because these figures have actually gone up. So some of the biggest influencers on Instagram, you have Kylie Jenner, 173 million followers. So what it means is Kylie Jenner has the population of Nigeria following her on social media, rather not on social media, on Instagram, on one platform. 173 million followers. Now, what is she sharing with them? She's sharing experiences. She's making them feel among. So Kylie Jenner is arguably more powerful than most presidents on earth. How? Content creation strategy. Now, the content creation strategy of the Jenners and the Kardashians, did not start on social media. It started with television, keeping up with the Kardashians. Don't forget what I said, because your voice has no expiry date. If you position your content well, you will just keep moving them from platform to platform, platform to platform, platform to platform, platform to platform. Can I just show you something? And I take this often. I share this with people often when teaching along those lines. Let me quickly show you something. Because content doesn't die. So I have here in my home office this book. I want somebody to please guess. Can you please guess? If you can. Just guess what this is. This about 300 and something pages. 340 something pages. Can you guess what this is? Can you guess? Can you guess what this is? What is this? What is this? Ideas, great. Grace says ideas. Dr. Chi says we can't see. Okay. Tosin says your manual. What kind of manual? John House. Undington Naomi says John House. Talatu says content. Bola says content. All right. Great. Rosa says inspiration. Content on different spheres. Your book manuscript. Thank you, everybody. All great ideas. This is my Instagram post from about 7 to 9 months. Instagram post alone. 7 to 9 months. Not the last 7 to 9 months. This is from about 3 years ago, right? Right? So I have multiples of this. Why? And I'll tell you this, one of the major reasons it's easy for me to be able to create content, I'm going to share a couple of things that you can learn from, right? Is that I did not start creating content on Instagram. Instagram is just a platform. So Instagram is not the primary reason I create content, right? So I'm trying to talk about the strategy behind it. The Kardashians did not start creating content for Instagram or social media. By the way, I hope you know that it was Kim Kardashian that popularized the selfie. She made it popular. She was doing the selfie. I thought, oh, selfie, everybody's doing the selfie right now. So understand that with the right strategy, you can pull in millions of people. Cristiano Ronaldo, 217 million followers. Ariana Grande, 184 million followers. Because of the pool that they have, they are earning money with their content. So Kylie Jenner earns $1.2 million per post. Can somebody help me convert that to Naira real quick? That is about 580 million Naira. Oh, is somebody upset yet? Is somebody feeling hot? Can you feel the stirring of holy anger inside your spirit? Is it rising like boiling water when you're about to make a bath? $1.2 million per post. About 600 million Naira, thereabout. Now, she's not the only one. How about Cristiano Ronaldo? How much does he earn per post? $975,000. That's about almost 500 million Naira per post. Almost 500 million Naira per post. That is more than the annual profits of hundreds of companies. Sons and no count bridge. Oh, Lord God, have mercy tonight. Are we seeing that now? Ariana Grande, almost $1 million per post. So when we're talking about content, I don't want to think it's just because I want to have 200 followers. And no, don't just think about it for social media. That's the big thing now. But we're going to move from social media to holograms, to holographic technology, to virtual reality, where we're going to have virtual screens popping around us. We're going to have codes, binary glasses in our eyes that will project things. So the content thing has to start from the internal environment. Internal environment first. Okay? Now, the truth is, whoever you are, with over 1 million followers, you can earn between $10,000 and $100,000 per post. And some Nigerians are already doing that, particularly in entertainment, right? Now, please understand something. Don't say, it's because I'm in this field. It's because I'm in this industry. I understand that entertainment, sports, fashion, beauty, food, those industries generate more attention than knowledge, wisdom, personal growth, personal development, business strategy. I understand that. But I'm painting the picture so you can see the possibilities if you're able to position correctly. USA Today reports, right, the most popular influencers are bringing in between $250,000 and $500,000 per post. So you see that now. What is the major thing? What they have understood is that they know the attention of the people they want. They know how to get it. They know how to capture people, the attention of the right people. So let me put it this way. You cannot be creating content for paupers and hope to attract princes. You cannot be creating content for fans and hope to attract customers. You cannot be creating content just for likes and hope to attract people who have leverage. I'm not saying don't create content that people will like or people will just love and follow, but I'm saying there must be a bigger strategy than likes and shares. So for me now, when I want to look at my content, I'm analyzing my content, how it's doing. I don't just look at the number of likes. I don't just look at the number of comments. I look at the insights and I'm looking at how many people saved the post, how many people sent the post to somebody, how many people shared the post, how many followers did I gain as a result of the post. Are we still getting this now? So begin to see content as currency, something you can use to buy, to secure mind share, attention, to create value, to attract and retain value as well. Content is the primary currency of this culture. So let's get into some things that you can do. If you really want to have a solid content drive, if you want to push your content as currency, 4 major things you must have. Number 1, your content must be current. Your content must be current. So I notice anytime I put out content that is not only wise, but has to bridge into the conversations of the culture, that has to bridge into what people are talking about in the now, then what happens is there's a flux of attention. So for example, you know, some of you follow my white paper thing online, and there was the week where I did the Lori Raw. There's this viral video about Lori Raw going around, around. That piece of content did not only get about 2,400 likes in about 24 or 36 hours. It got that. That piece of content was placed on a Twitter account, right? So they put on a Twitter account, you know, with my face and the whole picture on it. And that Twitter account had almost, I think, 480 or 420, over 400,000 followers, because I was speaking to something that was current, something in the culture. Number 2, your content must be contextual. So if you are speaking about accounting and you talk about food, can you give us the accounting side of food? Can you use the pomo you ate to talk about how we can save money? That we can eat pomo instead of chicken. You know, I'm not encouraging a poverty mindset. I'm just giving you an example, right? That we can save money. Can you give us the context that allows us to still build or buy into what it is you're sharing? So generally, my content, the core of what I'm sharing is between spiritual growth and personal development. So every other thing I'm sharing, creativity, communication, is going to be aligned with either spiritual growth, right, or personal development. So when I do social media strategy trainings, I do social media strategy trainings for spiritual, business, and thought leaders. When I'm doing content creation coaching, I do that for spiritual, business, and thought leaders, right? If I'm doing creativity masterclasses, I do it largely for spiritual, business, and thought leaders. So that's creating context. Right. Number 3, it needs to be congruent with your personality. So if you're goofy like me, please be goofy. Some people will like it, some people will not like it. You are not doing it so that you can be liked. You're doing it because you have a mission, you have a mandate, and you have some money to make. Come on, somebody, write that down. I have a mission, I have a mandate, and I have some money to make, right? So anybody that does not like you is not really going to serve that purpose, or rather serve to be a part of what you're trying to do. Number 4 is that you need to be consistent. Now, consistency does not necessarily mean frequency, okay? So for me, I post 4 times a day. For many people, they cannot keep up with that. They're like, what am I going to be posting? Where's the time, right? But because I see it for me, for myself, as what I just said, mission, mandate, money to make, right? So I post with that. I post with that in mind. I post with that in mind. People must hear this message. People must be lifted today. People must have hope today. People must be encouraged today. You don't have to do 4 times a day. You can choose your rhythm. You can choose 4 times a week. But if you choose 4 times a week, which is maybe Monday, maybe you're doing Sundays, then Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday, be consistent. If you're going on a break, don't leave your followers hanging and say, I'm tired, I'm going. No, let them know that you care, because you're beginning to mother people or father people into a school of thought, into an ideology, into a stream of intelligence. Therefore, you cannot break the chain without telling them that the train will no longer operate for 2 weeks. So if you're going to go offline, let them know I'm going offline for a personal retreat. I'm going to be absent for 10 days. Meanwhile, click this link. That link needs to lead them to your email, your opt-in page, or get this free ebook and read it in my absence, right? Capture their details, or give them a series of videos on YouTube to watch, or give them some assignment, something that lets them know that you care about them. So these 4 things will really help. The number 2 things you want to think about the what. So all of that is on the why. What kind of content should you be creating? What format should you be exploring? And I would generally say, explore a mix, right? But go for cocktail, not concoction. Who knows what I'm talking about? There's a difference between cocktail and concoction. Concoction is you have salad. In fact, not salad. You have salad. You know, there's salad and there's salad. Salad will have lettuce, has cabbage, that's okra, ilasepo, has pomo, has shaki, edo, salad. Salad. That one is concoction. It can run their belly. So what's concoction? Concoction is, this morning you posted about accounting. This afternoon you posted about photography. This evening you're posting about a political activism. Midnight you're posting about the presidency. The next morning you posted about the vulcanizer on your street. Afternoon you're posting about tailoring. That is a concoction. And people may consume concoction once, but after they have invested 3 hours of their time on the white throne in the inner chamber of the house, passing out the concoction that is running their stomach, they'll say, I'm not eating from that canteen again. I'm not going to that page again, right? So you want a cocktail, not concoction. Different kinds of content, but the different kinds of content must have congruence and alignment, a stream, right? Okay, I can see Simi is here like, I gotta wind down, right? I need to wrap up, right? Yes, okay. So let me just give you some other things. So let me quickly mention the different kinds of content you should be creating, right? You need to be creating at least 5 different kinds of content. Number 1, you need to create informational content. Informational content shows that you are current. You are not in antiquity. You're not a dinosaur. You're not a blast from the past. Number 2, you need to create inspirational content. Inspirational content captivates your audience. It's like hijacking their brains and putting them on steroids. Like, hey, bust my brain, even though you're not Bedu. But this Bedu that you are not is busting my brain. But the busting the brain is not to cause them to run wild. It's to cause them to explore a higher zone of possibility. Number 3, you need to have instructional content. Instructional content is do this, type this, post this, share this. People need instruction. If they're inspired, but they don't have instruction, they will be like drug addicts. Hey, they will be like junkies. They will be high. They're just high. So you leave your, audience like, because they're always high. Hey, but you don't instruct them. You don't tell them, right, to join your master class, to be a part of your coaching program, to sign up for a one-to-one, to slide into your DM and get a free download, right? You got to instruct them. When you instruct them, it shows that you are competent. Number 4, you need to have some intriguing content. Once in a while, show them a part of you that nobody knows. When I say part of it that nobody knows, some creativity, maybe you used to draw or sketch. Once in a while, put it out there. Don't say, I don't want anybody to know. Put it out there. It might not be directly in the stream of what you currently push, but see how you can lace that, right? So I draw, I sketch, right? I sketch and draw. And I was shooting some videos, couple of, I think last week, shooting videos. And the video guys saw a sketch I did on the whiteboard, right in here. And they're like, oh, so you draw as well and all? And sometimes I sketch those things to pass across certain messages. It lets people know that you are creative, that there's a well of supply. And number 5, inquisitional content, which is content that's asking. So yesterday, my email list, I sent a message saying, you good? That was the title of the message. You good? That was the title of the mail. And in the mail, I gave them 5 pointers for staying connected in a busy world. Right? That's inquisitional. Some of them reply me, oh, I'm great. Thank you for looking out. Thank you for caring. It shows that you care. All right. So this is the last thing I'm going to share because it's almost 11. Elements you must infuse in your content if you want your audience to eat up your content like children eating ice cream. How many of you remember when you were a child how you loved ice cream? Anybody like that? You loved it. You craved it. You ate it, your lips. You sucked it in. Ice cream. Yes, Tosin's honest. Tosin says, I still do. How many of you still love ice cream, cake, chocolate? Like on Val's Day, your husband or your wife, your intended or your pretended, hopefully, not your pretended, your intended. Hopefully not your pretended or your contended, right? But you chocolate and they were not late to the choco. You remember ice cream, you love it. Your audience can lick it up like that. Somebody sent me a comment yesterday. He said, do you know every time I come on Instagram, the first page I'm coming to is your page because I want to see what's new there. What's new? So these are things that you must infuse if you want them to lick it up. You must ask yourself, your content is potent, but is it palatable? Ami Sense Event says this is another level. Please tell me, what kind of level do you think it is? Hope it's a good level, right? Your content is potent, but is it palatable? Your content is life-changing, but can it be received well? I don't know about it, but when I was a little child and my parents wanted to give us, back then was chloroquine. Who remembers chloroquine? Quinine drugs, bitter. Bitter. Anybody ever said that? So bitter content and everything. Now look at this. For them to give us that, I was going to say chocolate, chloroquine, they will put, so that's a pure gold dust, Pastor Dennis. Thank you. They will put that chloroquine inside a muscle of pounded yam or inside eba. What's eba? Eba is boiled and kneaded cassava flakes. If you're American, if you're European, if you're American, eba, what's eba? Eba is kneaded, molded African flakes that have been boiled, right? So they put inside the pounded yam or something, and what they do is that they are making the potent content palatable. The sandwich, yes, Coach Eden, the sandwich principle, hide the unpalatable between the bones. We know that. Compliment, critique, compliment, encourage, instruct, chide, correct, encourage again. It's empowering, but is it enjoyable? People are so stressed. They don't want your face to always be like this all the time. I have come to tell you, I am the coach of coaches. I am the coach and not a cockroach. I am the coach, and with me there's no reproach. I am the coach, and to me you must approach. I am your coach. Coach. In fact, My first name is Coach, so you can call me Coach or Coach Squared. Right. Is it enjoyable? It's informational, but is it but is it interesting? It's wise, but is it warm? Is it warm? Qualitative content should also be delivered in a captive manner. I got a clue. Let me give you 3 things that you must add from tonight. Number 1, explore humor. Explore humor. And humor does not mean you have to be ridiculous. Like, there's some things I do that some people are just like, man, this almost ridiculous, right? But that's my style. That's my style. So find your style of humor. And if you dig deeply enough, you're going to find a side of you that is funny. So explore humor. Why? Because most people are stressed. There is a condition called SS, not sickle cell. There's a condition called SS. And SS is basically that condition that many of us have, which is called screen slavery. Screen slavery. Now, most people in this generation, and then the people who are coming behind, who are digital natives, they are used to scrolling. So they even get stressed from scrolling, get stressed from being exposed to the bright lights of the digital devices. So people need something that can help them come through the tension that they're going through. This is the reason comedy videos do very well. Comedy videos go viral. So can you find a slant of humor at least once in 3 days? If you can't do it every day, once in 3 days, find something that is funny. You know, they say that some of the most powerful speakers are those who are self-deprecating. So you see from the way I'm speaking, I don't really care about what you think about how I'm coming across. I care that you receive the message. I care that you're going to listen an hour after this, you're thinking to yourself, and something I said is going to connect or click, and you're going to smile, or you're going to laugh, or you're going to go, that's true, or you're going to laugh at yourself for being too serious when I was saying it. I care about that. So explore humor. Let me run. Number 2, give people hope, 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 hope. There's so much desperation, so much weakness, so much attacks, so much loss of life and strength, right? Wow, Coach Jonas and my daughters have watched you. Do you wanna speak for gold? More than 30 times. My goodness. You need to send me a picture of your daughters, or rather a video of your daughters actually watching that. So the first time my FD asked me to come on Speaker's Corner, I think it was, right? And you were going to talk about Speak for Gold and all. So my intro video, I was being ridiculous to some people. So there was a spontaneous tune, a song that I came up with. Do you wanna speak for gold? Do you wanna speak for gold? Now it speaks to people much more than just saying, speak for gold, speak for gold. Just, maybe we should even develop the song and make it, one of the anthems for Speak for Gold. I don't know. But I know there are other songwriters in the house, right? So give people hope. Give people hope. Give them hope. Why? Hope is like oxygen to the human soul. So if they know that they're running out of supply, running out of inspiration, you know what? In the studio, one of those is I was working on the song in the studio, and this guy meets me for the first time, and he says, my goodness, P-Dams, I've been looking and following you online. I follow your page. I love what you do. He's a singer as well. And he said, I love coming to your page because you use words in such a fantastic way. And as a songwriter, I come to your page and I draw inspiration, to write my own songs. So see that people know they come to your page is like coming to an inspiration well, a reservoir of resources. They will keep coming back and then help people. People need help in this generation. Give them practical help. Don't just hype them. Don't just hype yourself, but give them help. Offer to help them. There are so many other things that we could share, but I gotta close so we can at least take 1 or 2 questions. I hope somebody got something from what I shared today on content creation strategy.